The question I'm answering today is, as a woman, midlife, 40s, 50s, 60s, should we be eating less now or should we be eating differently? And I'd like to ask you three questions before we start. Have you thought that, you know what, I'm eating less than I've ever eaten, yet I'm still gaining weight? Or have you considered the idea your body may not be broken, but you're just now giving it the type of food that no longer supports our body at this stage in our life? And last but not least, what if I said to you that maybe you're not eating enough, and was able to share with you the type of foods you could eat that could potentially help you to regain your energy, to be able to feel strong, vital, and actually help you to be able to lose weight easier if that is your goal? Well, that is what I would like to address today. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Dana and I am a personal fitness trainer. I have worked in this industry since my 20s, so over 32, 33 years now. I'm 58 and I've been specializing in women's health over the age of 50 since my mid-30s. So I feel quite qualified to talk today, and I'm going to start with the idea that if you feel like you're eating less, but you're still gaining weight, I'd like you to think about the type of food that you are eating. So when I say that, it can be a sign that you're maybe eating too much of a certain macronutrient and not enough of another type of macronutrient. So what I'm talking about here is basically we've got three macronutrients. We've got protein, we've got fat, and we've got carbohydrate. And so all the food we eat sort of sits in one of those buckets, and each of those different types of foods might, have a bit of each of those macronutrients in there. So when we feel like we're eating less than ever, but we're still gaining weight, it may be a sign that you're not eating enough of the macronutrient protein on a daily basis. Why does this matter? Women have a tendency to not eat as much protein as required to assist us with maintaining our lean muscle mass. Why is it important that we maintain our lean muscle mass? So over the age of 35, our body is starting to naturally break down. So we're starting to naturally lose our lean muscle mass. And over the age of 50, once we've gone through menopause, that can even accelerate. And over the age of 60, it can even have a consequence of slowing down our metabolism. If we start to lose our lean muscle mass, we can feel like we've got no energy. We can feel a bit fragile, like we've got no strength. It can also have setting you up for gaining belly fat because your carbohydrate has nowhere to store, so it tends to store in your belly as belly fat. And so the first recommendation I would say to you is ensure that you're having enough protein on a daily basis. And you may be saying, well, how much is enough protein, Dana? So we're sort of suggesting these days that as we get older, our body is not absorbing the protein as well as it once did. And so we need to have approximately 2 grams of protein per kilo of body weight. So if you weighed 60 kilos, it would be 120 grams of protein a day. If you weighed 70 kilos, 140 grams of protein a day. And this can not only help you with maintaining a healthy body weight, it can allow you also to not have hunger pangs or cravings. And the reason that it helps you there is when you eat protein, it tends to dampen down the blood sugar response to the carbohydrate that you're eating. And so because you have a slower response, your blood sugars won't spike up and drop down. So you won't get that roller coaster ride of having energy and then feeling like you've got no energy. It will allow more control through your blood sugar, which ultimately can help you not only feel better, but with fat loss. So having 2 grams of protein per kilo of body weight per day can help with weight management. It can also help you with maintaining strong bones. We know as women over the age of 50, we become at much higher risk of osteopenia, osteoporosis, and this puts us at risk of break and fractures. So having protein, which you may be a little bit surprised to hear, 50% of your bone volume is actually made up of protein. So protein gives the bone its structure, like the framework. And if you aren't having sufficient protein and your body's breaking down, you are putting yourself at higher risk of getting toward those diseases. You know, there's another disease out there called sarcopenia, which is the breaking down of our muscle tissue, and that can lead to frailty, put us at risk of falls, risk of not living a life as independent as we once were, and have us relying on things like nursing homes and support. So if you're wanting to age in a healthy way, it is highly recommended that you maintain your lean muscle mass, you maintain a healthy bone density, and it also can help you reduce your appetite and control your blood sugar. So first step in how to eat is, are you getting enough protein? The next nutrient that I would like to talk about is fiber. And fiber is something that can help you with your digestion. And it is recommended that we have about 30 grams of fiber per day. And research sort of suggests we're getting about 15, about half the recommended dose of what we should be taking. You know, fiber helps you with your digestion. It can help you to avoid constipation, which is often prevalent as we get older, digestive issues, changing in the way our bowels work. And my next recommendation for you in how to eat is to ensure that you are getting that 30 grams of fiber a day to help you with your body's digestive process. You know, fiber can come in the form of fibrous vegetables. And what I love about that is they're super low in calories, but they're super high in what we call micronutrients. And micronutrients are basically those vitamins and minerals that really support our overall body health. So rather than thinking low calorie diets where I don't eat a thing, think massive, big rainbows of vegetables on your plate on a daily basis: broccoli, cauliflower, onions, mushrooms, kale, spinach, cucumber, capsicum. You know, go your hardest. Just make up these beautiful salads and know that you are supporting your digestive health and your overall health with micronutrients. The next way I believe we need to eat as aging women is we really need to support the idea of getting adequate plant-based fats in our diet. And the research suggests that by having plant-based fats, first thing I want you to know is fats are essential. So our body literally cannot survive without protein and fat. So it is an essential nutrient that we must take. But by bringing plant-based fats as your major source of fat rather than animal fat, you are having a healthy type of fat that will help support your brain health. And as I say, as a daughter of a mother who is suffering Alzheimer's disease, I just really encourage every woman I know to do everything we can in our age group to support our brain health, so we're not at higher risk of Alzheimer's when we hit our mum's age. Yeah, it can also help our hormone health. So having healthy plant-based fats can keep your hormones healthy, and it can also help us with our skin health and keeping our skin having that bit of shine and glow. And I've also written down here that it can help us with our reducing inflammation in our body, and think joint inflammation. So having those healthy fats, I always think of it like oiling the joints. So happy days to that. So you've thought about your protein, you've thought about 30 grams of fiber, you're now thinking about your plant-based fats. And when you think about plant-based fats, think things like avocado, nuts, seeds, olive oil. You've got your omega-3 in your fatty fish, salmon. You've got even your omega-3s in your fish oils that you could take as a supplement. Check with your doctor. I'm not the guru on supplements, and I do like you to always check with a health professional around that before you start adding that into your diet. So we've looked at those three areas, and the next thing I want you to think about is the carbohydrate that you're eating. You know, it's interesting. I find most ladies that come to me for one-on-one personal training to be able to regain their health and fitness, and to be able to lose that excess body fat that they've gained during this time in their life, that they're often eating healthily, but it's very carbohydrate focused. And what I mean by that is they might be eating the healthy breads and the quinoa and the brown rice and, you know, the healthy pastas, and they're eating healthily, lots of oatmeal, but they're eating too much carbohydrate and not enough protein. So I always say, yes, we do need carbohydrate. Carbohydrate will give us energy. It will help us to be able to get through our day. And it does have good micronutrients, but only if you're eating the right type, and only if you're eating the right amount. So at the end of the day, it still is an equation of calories in and calories out. How much that changes depends on how much lean muscle mass you're holding, how much fitness you have under your belt, how many steps you're doing on a daily basis. So there is a few different things you need to think about. But if you steer away from white carbohydrates, so if you steer away from anything like sugar, white flour, white ice cream, white biscuits, white cake, white things, and you replace that with your whole grains, your complex carbohydrates, those things that are going to bring your blood sugar levels up slower. So it gives you sustained energy. It helps support your body, gives you energy overall because it can feed into your muscles, but it's not spiking those blood sugars. So you can see there's a bit of a theme here that I'm trying to avoid blood sugar spikes. And the reason being is, as women midlife, we tend to have our blood sugars being dysregulated. So they're not as stable as they once were. And when we eat carbohydrate, it is going to raise your blood sugar levels. That is what carbohydrate does. But if you eat the type of carbohydrate that raises your blood sugar levels slowly, you get like a long sustained energy level without the spike of the blood sugar. When your blood sugars are spiking all the time, you're putting yourself at risk of acting like a pre-diabetic or a diabetic. And when you think about those, they often hold belly fat. They often find it very difficult to lose weight. And it's because their blood sugars aren't stable. They're up and down, up and down, up and down. So as women midlife, now we need to eat in a way that says, how can I look after my lean muscle mass? How can I look after my blood sugars? How can I look after my hormones, reduce inflammation, my metabolism? And what I've shared with you today is how you do that. So ladies, if you would like any help with putting that together, I do take on 5 personal training clients at one time. If I am fully booked, you are able to go onto a waiting list until I am available, and I can assist you with how to eat, how to move, and how to repair your body. So as a woman midlife, yes, you can lose weight, remarkable results, even transformational results. And we've shown it over and over and over again. Well, please subscribe to our channel so you never miss any of our health talks. Reach out if you need any help. I'd love to be able to help you. And of course, leave a comment. I would love to share in this journey with you and hear how you're going with everything. All right, well, thanks for listening to today, and I will catch you for our very next health talk.